You are tuned into the 5-minute signal. I am Vance Kross. This is not a broadcast. This is a frequency, a direct transmission from the bleeding edge of tomorrow delivered to you today. We cut through the noise, the narratives, and the manufactured hope to bring you the unvarnished truth. 5 minutes on the clock. Let's get to work. The headlines this morning are screaming about growth, synergy, and the dawn of a new era. The merger of SpaceX and XAI into a singular $1.25 trillion entity isn't just a market event, it's a closing of the trap. For years, we watched the physical world and the digital world grow alongside each other like two vines on the same trellis. Today, they fused. This merger represents the birth of vertical intelligence. We aren't just talking about a software company or a rocket company anymore. We are talking about a closed-loop system where the same hands that build the orbital infrastructure, the very hardware that beams the internet to every corner of the globe, now own the synthetic mind that processes every byte of information flowing through it. It is the ultimate consolidation. When you control both the pipe and the water, you own the thirst of everyone downstream. Why does this matter? Because for the last decade, we lived under the illusion that the cloud was a decentralized, ethereal space. It wasn't. It was always made of silicon and cooling fans in concrete bunkers. But now, that cloud has been physically relocated to low Earth orbit. With thousands of Starlink satellites now operating as edge computing nodes for a massive unified AI architecture, the latency of control has dropped to near zero. Every prompt you send, every biometric data point captured by your smart devices, and every financial transaction you initiate is now being filtered through a proprietary orbital layer before it even hits a ground station. This isn't just about faster internet or smarter chatbots. It's about the total integration of intelligence into the physical architecture of the planet. Sovereignty used to be defined by borders on a map. Now, it's defined by who owns the constellation overhead. Here is the hard truth, and I need you to hear this clearly. The concept of a public digital square is dead. It's been buried under $1 trillion of venture capital and aerospace engineering. When a single entity controls the infrastructure of global connectivity and the primary artificial intelligence that manages that data, there is no such thing as an independent thought in the digital realm. The feedback loop is now complete. The AI predicts what you need, the satellites deliver the information, and the physical supply chain, often owned by the same interests, fulfills the physical requirement. You aren't a user anymore. You are a biological data point within a vertically integrated simulation. The anti-hope here is simple. You cannot opt out of a system that owns the airwaves and the silicon. The age of the individual actor is being replaced by the age of the integrated asset. If you aren't part of the architecture, you are just the debris. You need to maintain your human edge, and you need to do it now, before the final layer of the net is pulled tight. Here are your 3 tactical moves. First, you must conduct an immediate audit of your infrastructure reliance. If your business, your communication, or your data storage depends entirely on a single proprietary hardware-software stack, you are a hostage, not a customer. You need to build redundancy outside the vertical intelligence loop. This means diversifying your cloud providers and, where possible, maintaining local air-gapped backups of your most critical intellectual property. If the orbital layer goes dark, or worse, if it decides you are no longer a compliant user, you cannot afford to lose your entire digital existence in a millisecond. Second, establish local-first protocols for your intelligence needs. Stop relying on cloud-based LLMs for your sensitive strategic thinking. The merger means your data isn't just being used to train a model. It's being used to map the physical and economic landscape that the parent entity intends to dominate. Move your workflows to local, open-source models that run on your own hardware. Keep your hard truths on your own silicon. If the intelligence isn't residing on a machine you can physically touch, it doesn't belong to you. Third, rebuild your analog signal. In a world where every digital transmission is monitored and processed by an orbital synthetic mind, the only secure frequency is the one that doesn't use the net. Reinvest in face-to-face networking, physical documentation, and low-tech communication methods for your high-value operations. The human edge is found in the gaps the machine can't see. When the entire planet is covered by a synthetic blanket of intelligence, your greatest advantage is the ability to operate in the shadows it leaves behind. The merger of the physical and the synthetic is the final border crossing. The map is now the territory, and the territory is owned.dr. I'm Vance Kross. This has been the 5-minute signal. Stay sharp.